Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a fantasy film called Squid Game. Friends. The main character, Jung, is introduced at the beginning of the story. His son's birthday has arrived. Jung's mother gives him money in exchange for taking her son to a restaurant. Jung needs extra money. He steals his mother's bank card. He then steals all of his mother's money. He bets the money on horseback riding and wins 4 million won. Jung has borrowed money from a company. That is why these people are attracted to him. They kidnap Jung and beat him badly. When Jung reaches into his pocket to pay them back the money, he discovers that he has nothing. It was the money he had earned riding a horse. Then he remembers that he hit a girl when he was running away from them. This girl, no doubt, picked his pocket. Since Jung has no money, they gave him a punishment of 1 month. During this period, he has to pay them back the money. So Jung arranges to have money and takes her son to dinner. Then Jung rushes to the station. Unfortunately, he missed the train. A man came to see Jung while he was waiting for the train. He is a stranger and Jung knows nothing about him. The stranger said to Jung, "I want to play a game with you." He told Jung that if he wins this game, I will give him 1,000 won. When he heard about the large sum of money, Jung agreed to participate in the game. After being beaten a few times, Jung wins the game. That means he gets 1 lakh won. The stranger gives Jung a card and tells him, "If you want to win more money, call the number." On the way home, Jung's mother tells him her daughter is going to America next year with her father-in-law. Here it is revealed that Jung is divorced and his wife is married. Jung never wants his daughter to leave him. He wants a lot of money to get custody of his daughter. So he calls the number on the card. Jung was taken to a car with other people. They all passed out and when they woke up, they ended up in a center with 456 other people. They were there as gamblers because they were wearing uniforms. The host of this facility was a man, he was the leader there. He kept his eye on them. There was one thing in common, the people who were brought in had a lot of debt. Jung meets the number 1 player. He is an older man. He has a brain tumor, so he was brought to her. His life was also about to end. There was a fight between 2 players. The girl's name is Jae-il and the boy's name is Jung. Jae-il was the girl who stole Dog's money. She opened his pocket. Jung recognizes her after seeing her. He goes to her to ask for his money. Meanwhile, guards in pink uniforms arrived. Their faces were covered. The guards tell them that they all have to play a total of 6 games here. The winner of this game will get a lot of money. Their signatures were put on a contract. The first rule of this contract is that no player can win this game by himself. The second rule is that any player who refuses to play will be eliminated. What does the word eliminated mean to them? We will find out later. The third rule is that if the majority of the players don't want to play the game, they can leave. Then they get caught playing the game. Jung runs into his classmate Sang-woo, who has known him since childhood. Jung is surprised to see him because he has gone abroad on business. There was a large crowd at the first game. The rules of this game were very simple. It was, when the puppet sang, they had to move forward. When it stopped singing, they had to stop. You don't have to move. If anyone moves, they are out. At first it seemed like a joke. But when a boy moved, he was eliminated after being shot. That was the meaning of the word eliminate. It means they will be killed. When they saw this, everyone panicked. They find out that they are in danger. They are terrified and panicked, so they wander around. According to the rules of the game, the one who has moved is eliminated. The survivors somehow end the game. With the corpses eliminated, only 255 players remain out of a total of 456. All the players were scared. Now none of them want to play the game. As rule number 3, if the majority wants to, they can skip the game. The leader performs the voting process before seeing the prize money. The money the winner will receive. But if they leave the game, the money will be given to the family of the deceased player. The prize amounts to 45 billion won. A vote was held and the majority of participants did not want to play the game. That is why the game was stopped there. They can join the game in the future if they wish. The next day, Seong told everything to the police by going to the police station. But they don't believe Seong. They think he is crazy. Seong shows them the map, but surprisingly the number was wrong. Seong went to his house, but his mother was not there. They were all taken to their homes. Sang-woo, Seong's classmate, was secretly dating his mother. Meanwhile, Seong arrives. Sang-woo tells Seong, annoyed, that I have a debt of 6 billion. He says I put customers' money in the stock market margin. Unfortunately, all the money is wasted. Seong gets a call from the hospital. Seong's mother has injured her foot. Her injury has grown because she has not treated her diabetes. The doctor tells Seong that his mother can be cured, but to do so, her foot must be removed. This operation requires a lot of money. It is clear that Seong does not have any money, even though he has. Even though he has finished paying his mother's insurance. Seong goes to ask his wife for money. His wife refuses to give him money. His wife tells her husband that Seong has come to ask for money. Her husband comes to give Seong money and tells him to stay away from my family. Seong starts beating him and then his daughter joins in. Then Seong's friend goes to his boss to ask for money. His boss refuses to give him money and a fight breaks out between them. During the fight, his boss's hand is injured by a machine. Seong's friend had a chance to escape by taking the money. Back home, Seong's friend tells his wife to take the first flight and leave. Jae-il meets a policeman. Because he has to move his mother from the northern region to the southern region. Jae-il is the girl who stole Seong's money. Jae-il needs money to bring her mother. Jae-il has an older brother whom she promised to bring to her mother. Later, an officer discovers that his brother is missing. The officer goes to his brother's house. The officer goes to his brother's house and discovers that his brother has not been home for a few days. Upon searching the house, the officer finds a card. The officer saw the same card as Sung at the police station. The officer approaches Seong and asks him about it, but Seong refuses to answer. When Seong arrives home, he finds the card. Seong decides that he will play the game again. As a result, all the players are taken away on a boat. The policeman also attacks the cars. He kills the guard and throws him into the water. The players are taken to a facility on an island. They have no idea what the next game will be or how it will be played. They form their teams. Jae-il and her friend go to the bathroom at night. Escaping from the guards, Jae-il explores the building. She sees the guards preparing something in big pots. The guards become suspicious and a guard comes to check the bathroom. Meanwhile, Jae-il has returned. Jae-il tells her friend everything she sees. But Sang-woo overhears them. He asks Jae-il what's going on, and she tells him that they were cooking something in big pots. Next, all the players were taken to the playground. There were 4 shapes in front of them and they had to choose one shape. Sang-woo is told about the game and what they have to do. Sang-woo tells Seong that they all have to choose different shapes. They are then given a small drawer of shapes. Their game is to eliminate the shape somehow. There's nothing wrong with that, but if the shape is D, they are eliminated. That means they are done. Sang-woo removes the form easily. Seong's condition gets worse after he panics. But somehow, he wins this game. They went back to the rooms. 187 players came back and 108 players were left. Then they took them to eat. Because of the food, Jung gets into a fight with a boy. Jung hits the boy and kills him on the spot. There is a doctor among the players. He sells the organs of the dead to the Chinese with the help of the guards. That's why every time the corpses are taken away, they disappear. Everything was done according to a plan. It was done secretly for the front man. That's why they put their own man in the control room. He was deleting all his videos. The guards had already alerted the party doctor. So he would survive. A guard informs the doctor that we have reduced the player's food intake today. So they fight together. This will eliminate all weak players from the game. With that, the guard informs the doctor about their next game. The lights go out in 30 minutes. Sang-woo knows that Seong's team will do something stupid. He calls the team and asks them to be quiet. The player doctor joins Jung's team. There, the doctor tells Jung about the upcoming match. Then the lights go out and Jung beats everyone with his team. After finishing off a girl, Jung goes to finish off Jae-il. But Seong saves her. The guards come and banish them, only 80 people are left. Later, they were taken away for the third match. They were asked to form a team of 10 players. They do the same and form their team. Jung knows about the next match. He did not include Woman Baek's friend in his team. He makes sure that his team consists of all men. Sang-woo also makes his team because they need a player, so Si-woo's friend Baek adds them. This game is basically a tug of war. That means they have to eliminate the team in front of them. The game begins. Jung's team wins this game easily. Now it's Sang-woo's team's turn. Player number 1, the old man says I've played skipping rope in my life. So he guides them on how to win this game. They won the game somehow. The lights go out after 30 minutes. Sang-woo then asks them to get ready. They decide to stand guard one by one. Jung's team had wise players, so Jung was afraid that his team would cut him off. Now the doctor and the guards have removed the organs from the corpses. Guards 28 and 29 will go to deliver those organs. They say the corpse only has one kidney and they call it a zombie. Guard number 29 is the officer who is to deliver the organs. He arrives dressed as a guard and suspects they are talking about my brother. Because he also has a kidney. So numbers 28 and 29 go to deliver the organs. On the way, the officer notices the bomb in the tunnel. Number 28 tells him that when we get out of here, this place will be destroyed. The officer tries to get more information from number 28. Number 28 is suspicious of him. He asks the policeman to show his face. When he shows his face, the policeman points his gun at number 29. The policeman asks him about the man with a kidney. Who is the person you call a zombie? Number 28 says it was a girl. And says he can get all the information by going to the chief's room. There are details for everyone. The officer terminates number 28 after learning this. On the other hand, the doctor asks the guard for the next game. But this time the guards also don't know what the next match will be. The doctor becomes furious. He fights while holding a guard, and the doctor escapes after killing the guard. A guard also chases him and arrives at a playground. The guard was about to finish off the doctor by trapping him. The boss arrives and later finishes him off. He also finishes off the doctor. On the way, he also finds the corpse of number 28. He knows that there is someone in the institution. The officer arrives at the chief's room. Checking it, he arrives in a room where everyone's file is kept. The officer checks and finds the file of the winners. His brother's name was in it, that means he was the winner. The players are taken to the fourth game. They are asked to choose their partners. The players do the same and choose their partners. Si-baek's girlfriend is also trying to find her partner. None of them was willing to be her partner. Next, each player receives 10 marbles. The game is that the player takes all the marbles from his partner. Without forcing him. The other person who has no more marbles is eliminated. Sang-woo and Seong's friend play the odd-even game. They must guess the number of marbles in the hand of the person in front of them. Seong's friend wins all of Sang-woo's marbles. As a result, Sang-woo has only one marble left at the end of the game. Sang-woo now knows that his life will end. It makes Seong's friend think that if one of them loses, their game will be repeated. Sang-woo, cheating, switches Seong's friend's marbles. Sang-woo takes the marbles and gives them to the guard. He leaves. Seong's friend checks the marbles, but there are stones. Player 1's condition was worse. That's why he ran here and there. Seong prepares him to play, and they also play the odd-even game. The old man wins all of Seong's marbles. But in the last round, the old man forgets what he has chosen. Seong takes his marbles by cheating on him. But the old man was smart, he kept one marble. He walks away again. Seong asks him to play a game with him again. The old man says, I know you took all my marbles by cheating. He says, I knew everything, but I behaved like a fool. When Syeonok heard this, he took pity on him and gave him all the marbles. Syeonok and his friend also play a game. Their game is, whoever throws the marbles at the wall wins. First, Syeonok threw his marbles. When it was Syeonok's friend's turn, she threw all her marbles. Upon seeing it, Syeonok asks her friend to return it. Her friend says no to Syeonok. I am alone, there is no one behind me. But if something bad happens to you, it won't be good. Your big brother is waiting for you. Syeonok's friend is ready. Their corpses have been taken out of there. They go back to the rooms. Jang realizes that Syeonok's friend is still alive. He sat quietly. Here you can see that Syeonok's friend was also Jang's friend. There is a reason why they clashed. Jang's friend bullies him. Later, the front man finds the cop's ID card with a dead body. Then, the boss learns that his VIPs have arrived. The foreman moves to receive them. All the VIPs were taken to the rooms. And the man at the front tells another man about the arrival of the VIPs. This was the chief whose whereabouts we would learn later. The next day, they were all brought in for the fifth game. There were numbers from 1 to 16. The players would take their number. Meaning they would be drawn according to their number. In the last one, the first and the last number were. That means 1 and 16. Seong is confused about which number to choose. If he chooses the first one, he is stuck because he is not familiar with the game. If he chooses the last number, he cannot make his turn. Due to the lack of time in the meantime, a man arrives. And says to Seong, I want the first. Because I've never been to the first number in my life. They are taken to a game room. The rule of the game is that they have to cross the bridge within the time limit. There were 2 glasses between the 2 bridges. One was ordinary glass and the other was tempered glass. The ordinary glass will break if they step on it. And they will fall. Then the game begins, and they are eliminated one by one. Jang was in front of all of them and did not advance. They have only one solution, move forward or die here. Jang's friend who harassed him introduces herself. She says, I told you when you cheated me that I would finish you. She holds Jang and jumps for her. They are both finished. There was a man who worked in a glass company. He knew which one was tempered glass. The straw man turns off the lights when he knows. So that they do not recognize the glass. They don't have time for the last step, so Sang-woo pushes the man. Sang-woo, Seong and Syeonok crossed the bridge. But because of the broken glass, they were injured. Syeonok was also injured. The officer took the place of his servant after killing him. A VIP is suspicious of the officer. He asks him to take off his mask. Okay, says the officer, but I will take off my mask before entering. So the officer enters with the VIP. When the officer enters, the VIP is knocked unconscious and the front man knows it. The striker chases him and sees the agent. The agent escapes and gets to an island. The striker also goes after him. The agent tries to call his superiors. But the call is cut off. The officer sent him all the evidence, but there was no net. The front man captures the cop and asks him to leave with him. But the officer fires a bullet at the foreman. When the foreman takes off his mask, the cop realizes that he is none other than this brother. The officer's brother wants the foreman to shoot him. He falls into the water. Jae-il is wounded by the glass. He was bleeding. Then he took the survivors to dinner. A knife was also placed near them. This means that at night, each of them will kill someone. Jung notices that Jae-il's condition has worsened. He tells Jae-il, "Don't worry, we are together and we will defeat Sang-woo. Then we'll leave and share the money." Jae-il tells him that I have an older brother and I left him in an orphanage. If one of us leaves, he has to take care of both families. Jae-il's condition has worsened and he needs a doctor. Jung goes to ask for help, but when he returns, Sang-woo has killed Jae-il. The next day, they were brought out for the final match. The rule of the game was simple: die to be dead. This game was called Squid Game. The game starts and there is a big fight between them. In the end, Sang-woo's condition gets worse. Jung says, "I want to quit this game." Jung asks Sang-woo to join him. Sang-woo finishes him off and thus Jung wins the game. The striker said to Jung, "You played well, but I didn't expect this." Jung is then dropped off at home. He had a card to withdraw money. When he checks, he sees that all his money has been transferred. Jung moves into the house, but his mother dies before he arrives. The scene is shown a year later. Jung's condition has deteriorated and he has taken drugs. He has not yet used the money. A lady selling flowers approached Jung and gave him the same card. She had an address, and Jung went to the address. There he found out that everything was done by the old man, the number one player. He is still alive, and the old man tells Jung that he is tired of his life. "I made these games with my clients. So I will enjoy watching people die. But we don't force anyone to do it. I participated because playing is more fun than watching." He says, "The money you have is mine," and as he says this, the old man dies. Afterwards, Jung goes to see Jae-il's older brother. He drops him off at Sang-woo's mother's house and asks her to take care of the boy. He also gives her a bag full of money. Jung goes to the train station and the same unknown person he met in the beginning of the film. He met at the beginning of the movie. Jung chases him, but manages to escape. Jung then calls the number on his card. He asks, "Who are you and why are you doing this to people? Why are you playing with other people's lives?" But the answer was, "Jung, get on a plane if you want to live." That's the end. Thank you for watching.